Hello and welcome to Sporting Park in Kansas City, Kansas, the site of tonight's 2015 Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup semifinal match and the latest chapter in an arch rivalry that goes back years. Sporting Kansas City hosting Real Salt Lake. I'm Nate Bucati along with Andy Greenebaum. And Andy, we should have another fantastic match, the latest installment in a great rivalry.
Yeah, I think these two teams bring out the best in each other in a very gritty way. Between these two teams, and I'm sure we'll touch on this in the three regular season matchups, there's been, 17 yellow cards? So
17,
we
yes.
should be in for a great one tonight.
Physical as always. Let's get you the starting lineups. First off, for Sporting Kansas City, Peter Vermees, with a win today, would become the sole holder of the all-time wins record in franchise history. Timelia in goal, a backline of Diab, Beasler, Ellis, and Abdul Salam. So two rookies at the fullback positions. Sony Mustavar holding, Benny Feilhaber and Paulo Nagamura in the midfield. And then a front line of Peterson, Dwyer, and Namath. Good to have Dom Dwyer back after the suspension on the weekend.
Especially in the Open Cup. He's been tearing it up in the Open Cup, I believe. Is it 5 goals in
Yes.
6 games, I think, is the number for Dom Dwyer. And great to see Paulo Nagamura back in the lineup as well. Such an important piece alongside Benny Feilhaber.
Now for Jeff Kazar, his team playing their 4th game in 12 days after traveling 9,000 miles. Nick Raimondo in goal after not making the trip to Vancouver over the weekend. A backline of Phillips, Vasquez, Mond, and Beltran. Luke Mulholland and Kyle Beckerman in a more withdrawn midfield position. Javier Morales will pull the strings in the midfield, and then a front line of Garcia, Sandoval, and Sebastian Jaime. This was a team that Kazar rested over the weekend. 5 guys that are regulars did not make the trip to Vancouver with an eye on tonight's match.
And that says a lot about tonight's match in a semifinal matchup, but you have essentially, like you said, a rested team that essentially told Vancouver, here's 3 points, have at it, and we'll look to this Open Cup matchup. So should be a great matchup tonight.
This is the first ever meeting between Real Salt Lake and Sporting Kansas City in the U.S. Open Cup. The 4th time for Sporting Kansas City in the semifinals, the 2nd time for Real Salt Lake. Those 2 appearances in the semifinals coming within the last 3 years. The man in the middle is Armando Villarreal, tonight's head referee. Sporting Kansas City in their 3rd kits, the white uniforms with the silver numbers and logo, and Real Salt Lake in their traditional claret and cobalt. Sporting Kansas City will be attacking the Cauldron side here in the first half. And away we go in the U.S. Open Cup 2015 semifinals. We've spoken about the fact that both of these teams in the middle of a heavy run of matches for Sporting Kansas City. This is the 2nd match during a string in which they will play 5 matches in 15 days. Real Salt Lake also in the middle of a stretch like that. And their travel schedule has been absolutely ridiculous for the claret and cobalt. Here's Benny Feilhaber.
Yeah, Nate, never easy juggling 3 competitions, which Salt Lake are doing. But, on the flip side, you said it, 5 games and 15 matches. Both teams are battling a little bit of adversity.
Both managers having to pick and choose how they will assemble their rosters during those competitions. For Real Salt Lake, Jeff Kazar had to defend his decision to not field much of a first-choice roster in Vancouver, and they took a 4-0 beating.
Well, that's about the only defending they did was him defending that lineup choice because, like I said, they just conceded at that point, waved the white flag early on because that Vancouver team was ready to roll right from the
You're talking about an RSL team that right now is on the outside of the playoffs looking in. This is their best chance to get back into the CONCACAF Champions League for next year, as they are only 2 wins away. The same goes for Sporting Kansas City, but who are in much better position for a postseason run. Here's Christian Namath looking for the cross, but it bounces right into the arms of Nick Raimondo.
And Nate, let's keep in mind that this field is relatively still brand new for all intents and purposes. And right off the bat from the opening kickoff, speaking with a few of the players, long balls became an issue. Balls getting caught in the grooves. The field in decent shape, but you can see off the bat some of these long balls and services into the box may cause a little bit of problem.
How much better, though, does this field look?
It looks so much better. I mean, it's night and day from what it was, and that's exactly what we expected.
Here come RSL getting forward. On the left-hand side, DeMar Phillips. Shot deflected off of Saad Abdul Salam. And it's out for an RSL throw. The field had just been installed literally a day or two before the match against Houston, and there were clearly issues with the field at that time. It still might not be perfect, but like you said, night and day compared to what we saw in that match. Here's Phillips. Cutting to the end line. Punched away by Tim Melia. Now Christian Namath trying to work his way around Beltran, but Beltran has it covered.
You know, it's a decent punch there from Tim Melia, but I think he's got his starting position a little bit conservative towards that near post. If he's off his post a little bit, he can possibly catch that ball, and it's an easy transition the other way.
Too long for Olmus Garcia down the left-hand side.
It's just when Tim Melia comes off that post, you can see, obviously with some traffic it's difficult, but I think he can cheat a little bit off his line in that position.
Beckerman takes it away from Dom Dwyer. Saad Abdul Salam, though, sniffs out the pass from Beckerman. Jacob Peterson from Nagamura, and it's tackled out this time by DeMar Phillips. Jacob Peterson had to start up top in Toronto over the weekend for Sporting, as Dom Dwyer was out because of the yellow card accumulation suspension, and he scored the goal that really put that match away 3-1. Now back out on the wing for Jacob Peterson as Dwyer is back. Abdul Salam to take the throw. Failhop trying to chest it back to Beasler, who was not anticipating it but was able to get to it.
You know, Nate, possession's going to be so important for this Sporting Kansas City side in this game, as Real Salt Lake are very good on transitional offense, but it's little things like off the throw and Saad Abdul Salam forcing it into Dom Dwyer. He's got two men on him. I'd like to see him just come back and around if at all possible. I mean, it's not the prettiest of plays going back to the goalkeeper, but it's on.
Mustavar with the interception to Nagamura. Now Failhop turning, and he's got possibly an angle for Amadou Dia, but instead holds on, and Mulholland knocks it away. Dia tries to flick it toward Namath. Bounces off of Namath. Here's Namath again. Pinballs off of Beltran. Kyle Beckerman, who Sporting Kansas City have not seen much of this year.
No, but before that, great veteran play by Nick Raimondo, finding Amadou Dia caught up high. He goes right where that space was vacated.
Here is Dia. Mustavar, Failhaber, out to Christian Namath. Beltran cutting Namath off. Nagamura, who was a game-time decision today with an ankle injury, nicely done over to Abdul Salam. Now Jacob Peterson. And out for a Sporting Kansas City corner. The first corner of the match will come in the 7th minute.
I'll tell you what, Nate, you cannot tell any ill effects from Paulo Nagamura's ankle, as he is buzzing so far in the game. I know we're 7 minutes in, but he's absolutely buzzing around the ball.
He suffered the ankle injury
First
early
play
in the match.
First play.
Yeah. and then played I think about 60 minutes in that game in Toronto before coming off. He's back out there in the starting 11 tonight. It's Benny Feilhaber to take the corner. Feilhaber sends it in, and it's headed right over the crossbar by Sony Mustavar.
Wow, what a ball in by Benny Feilhaber. This is why he has so many assists on the season, and especially in Open Cup. I mean, this is great service, gets it over the first man, and all it takes is a well-timed run, and Mustavar knows he wants to put this on frame, but great ball in, good run, a couple guys in the space in a dangerous pocket that could have got their head to that one.
It's just the third shot attempt by Mustavar at all competitions this season. That's not typically where he does his work, but he had an opportunity there to draw first blood. And these are two teams that are a little banged up. For RSL, Jamison Olave did not make the trip with a groin injury. Joao Plata, who we thought we would see today, thought he was resting for the Vancouver game, did not make the trip as well with a hamstring injury. Here's good work from Sporting again until Namath almost gives it away. It is still Namath. And left for Saad Abdul Salam. Now back to Feilhaber. He's dangerous. Misplays at this time, and DeMar Phillips with the interception. Mustavar there to break it up, and there is where Sony Mustavar is so good at snuffing out the possible counterattacks.
He is in great movement off the ball, and good quick play by Sporting Kansas City, changing the point of attack, and in the end, it's Benny Feilhaber, uncharacteristic turnover. If he looks up, he's got Nagamura. They can come back out the other side again.
Dwyer taken down, and there will be a foul against Mulholland, I believe it was. First foul of the match.
Just late there, pretty reckless. The ball's nowhere near there.
Very late.
We're accustomed to seeing those kinds of challenges against these two teams, though.
Feilhaber. 16 assists on the year, and he heads it to Namath, who puts it on frame, but a diving save by Nick Raimondo.
Well, in the end, Nate, it's very comfortable for Nick Raimondo. He has plenty of time to react. You know, this is a great ball in, though. Again, if you keep giving up this many set pieces, Benny Feilhaber and the Sporting side will make you pay.
That time it was off the left side of the head of Christian Namath, was back to goal. We saw him score a goal from a much more difficult angle on a header last weekend, which maybe some poor positioning by the goalkeeper might have played into that, but still, Namath has shown an ability to put headers on frame from very awkward positions.
Yeah, we've talked about his efficiency on goal. I mean, everything he touches seems to go in the back of the net, so anytime he puts one on frame, you think goal automatically.
Sporting Kansas City looking sharp in the early going here. Here they come again. Namath to Dia. Dia running at Beltran. Vasquez got it up in the air. Make that Aaron Mond. Nagamura heads it back to Mustavar. Now Feilhaber. You're right, Nagamura is absolutely buzzing all over the pitch so far.
And it's great to see. I mean, the loss of Roger Espinoza is a big one, but we talked about Paulo Nagamura's veteran leadership, and when he buzzes like this, it's going to be a big addition.
Dwyer under the challenge from Vasquez. Sporting Kansas City certainly on the front foot here in the first 10 minutes.
We saw this a bit the last time these teams met at Sporting Park. Salt Lake really parking the bus, and I didn't think we'd see that from this side, but I think it's more Sporting keeping very good possession right now, and their movement that's really doing to this and forcing this Real Salt Lake team back in their defensive shape.
Matt Beasler on his less favored foot, the right foot there. Could not play it in to Peterson. You don't expect to see time wasting here, I wouldn't think, in a match where there has to be a winner, but Nick Raimondo taking his time. We saw the time wasting happen early and often in the one match that RSL played here earlier this year, and what turned out to be a 0-0 draw. RSL got the result they were looking for. But there has to be a winner here today. Feilhaber knocked away by Mulholland. Here's Beckerman. Sandoval. Kept in by Kevin Ellis.
But I'm telling you, if you have Morales and he's the one chasing back into those pockets to defend, that's good. That's a very good sign for Sporting Kansas City.
The first foul against Sporting Kansas City. Dom Dwyer, the guilty party. So the 2 fouls. Mulholland versus Dwyer, then Dwyer versus Mulholland so far. Kyle Beckerman, as I mentioned, Sporting Kansas City only saw him in one of the matches this season. He was off with the U.S. men's national team the other 2. 42 caps for the national team for Beckerman. Foul back near the halfway line.
And I think what we're seeing, and you mentioned the last time these two teams met and the time wasting that went on, I think we're clearly seeing that straight off the bat. RSL in zero hurry to play. In fact, it's almost embarrassing at this point, the referee having to talk with Morales, but I think they know that this Sporting team likes to play high-tempo game, and they feel like this can really take them out, and possibly RSL can get something cheap on the other end, but it's clearly a case of the same game plan, something we were hoping not to see tonight.
Perhaps they don't mind playing 120 minutes tonight either with a more rested team than Sporting Kansas City, I suppose. But yeah, we did see Villarreal pointing to his watch there. He signified RSL that these minutes will be added on, as pitch might have come up to bite Kyle Beckerman at time.
I think he's got a little bit better skill in his bag than that, but you're right, we're already seeing it a couple times, the pitch being a problem on some of these final balls.
Header won by Aaron Mon. Namath. Traffic taken away by Morales. Flex off of Benny Feilhaber. Dwyer wins the header and just got a little too much of the header, so it rolls all the way back to Raimondo, and Aaron Mond is still down. Dwyer at 5'9", rising up over the 6'1" Aaron Mond to win that header.
And I don't think Mond expected the challenge to be that successful from Dom Dwyer, but we know his tenacity to get up for these head balls. It doesn't matter if it's a goalkeeper, doesn't matter if it's a defender, he's going to go after the ball.
Shouldn't you always expect that from Dom Dwyer? And I did not see an extended arm or elbow from Dwyer on the play. It seemed to be a clean play. Dwyer has had his part in the war of words between these two teams in the past. A bit of a Twitter slap fight between he and that man, Nick Raimondo, a couple of years ago after Dwyer failed to finish on a couple of chances, and they went at it on Twitter after the match was over. There have been words exchanged in the press in the past and via social media between these two teams, but it seemed to be really toned down leading up to this match, apart from possibly, I guess you could have called it prediction of a victory by Jeff Kazar when he justified that lineup that he put out against Vancouver, and he said it'll look a lot better when we win on Wednesday night, words to that effect. After a win on Wednesday night, it'll look really good, something like that. But for the most part, it seems like both teams decided to tone it down and let their play on the field do the talking this time.
And speaking of that, Dom Dwyer with a little gamesmanship as Namath throws the ball down the line. Nick Raimondo in no hurry to get there. Dom acts like he's going to take it to goal and just gives it to Nick Raimondo, but just clearly trying to speed things up. I love it. Dom Dwyer always trying to go fishing.
Now here's Amadou Dia on the switch, getting forward. Pass was too heavy for Namath. Beltran cuts it back on Feilhaber. And this could be something on Sebastian Jaime, cutting his way into the area. Jaime cuts it back on Ellis. And a save, a kick save by Tim Melia. Sporting Kansas City, after dominating the run of the play for the first 15 minutes or so, expose themselves and give a great opportunity to Jaime, but Tim Melia comes up with the big save.
Well, all it is a simple run in behind Matt Beasler as Amadou Diaz switches over and covers inside, and it's rather predictable for Tim Melia, but nonetheless a great save. He has to make himself big and close the wickets.
Ellis under pressure from Sandoval. Mond bangs right into Benny Feilhaber. Play on, says Armando Villarreal. And here comes another through ball. This time it's Garcia. Cleared away by Beasler, and he had to get the timing right on that challenge.
Great cover by Matt Beasler. Essentially, Benny Feilhaber just got clotheslined with the leg on that play. As we take another look.
Not sure that Feilhaber should go into that, but is that a high boot from Aaron Mond?
I'd say it took him out around the shoulder. You can see Morales once again walking over. I mean, this is
slow walk to the corner by Javier Morales here in the 17th, I think the 18th minute.
You know, we may see a yellow card for time wasting in the first half, which I don't think I've ever seen in my life, but
now Morales to take it. It'll be an in-swinger, headed out by Dom Dwyer. Morales again. This time it's Nagamura away. Still Morales trying to turn on Mustavar. Make that to Abdul Salam. And a sliding challenge from Christian Nemeth, and he is whistled for the foul. So another free kick for RSL and Sporting Kansas City's defensive third.
And another guy that can really serve a very good ball into the box and make things very difficult for this Sporting side in Morales.
9 assists in MLS play for Morales on the season. The 35-year-old playing some of the best MLS soccer of his career this season.
The way he strikes it, though, it dives so quickly, it dips so quickly.
Feilhaber got ahead to it, but put it in a dangerous area, and it's out for an RSL corner.
So as a goalkeeper, you could be staring at this thinking it's your ball, and it just, the bottom drops out so quick with his technique. Very good on the ball with this service.
Morales has now picked it up to a very slow jog over to the near corner. And you wonder the strategy behind this, how much of this is simply to frustrate Sporting Kansas City?
Oh, I think it's exactly what it is. I think they feel that they have the advantage when they slow the game down, almost like a half court in basketball a little bit.
Morales, this time the outswinger. Abdul Salam got ahead to it. Mulholland back out to Morales. This time running at Nagamura, sending another cross in with a left foot and just past the lunging kick of Omez Garcia, and Sporting Kansas City will finally be able to relieve the pressure.
Well, make no mistake, it's very effective because this Salt Lake team very, very effective on set pieces, and every one of their chances coming off either a set piece or a second ball. So they're slowing the game down. They're frustrating Sporting. Sporting have the better of the possession, in my opinion, but just fouls in and around the box, which have cost Sporting all year, really.
I'll tell you what, that was a heck of a ball from the left foot of Morales. Into the 21st minute now, still 0-0 the score. Sporting Kansas City and Real Salt Lake, semifinals of the 2015 Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup.
And Nate, that's why possession is so important, because if you give the Salt Lake team a chance to possess the ball in your end with the technique of some of these players going forward, you're going to be in danger as well.
Not sure where Kevin Ellis was looking there, but I'm quite sure it wasn't right into the belly of Nick Raimondo. Headed out by Beasler. Raimondo did not make the trip to Vancouver. Matt Beasler played all 90 minutes at Toronto. Beasler saying that he addressed the team in advance of this match and said, look, this is our cup final for the fans here at Sporting Park, because they know that if they win this match, no matter what happens in the other semifinal game. They will be on the road in the finals. There is a chance for Real Salt Lake to host the Cup final if they were to win today, depending on the result of that Chicago-Philadelphia match. But for Sporting Kansas City, this is the end of the road at home, and it has been at home all the way through the competition so far, so they want to treat this like a final for the fans.
Well, and it happened quick on that drawing as well. I don't think anybody had room to even fill up a cup of coffee before they were out of the running.
Both of these teams, RSL and Sporting Kansas City, getting home field advantage up until this point. Obviously now RSL coming on the road. Their 3 wins, 2-1 over Seattle, 2-0 over Portland, and then 1-0 over Los Angeles, all coming at Rio Tinto. Here's Benny Feilhaber. Now Paulo Nagamura. Dia was looking for Nagamura, but intercepted nicely by Mulholland. Beltran. Beasler calmly plays it to Amadou Dia. Now Sony Mustavar looking to get forward. Dwyer. Dispossessed that time by Aaron Mon. Beltran to Morales. Game is evened out now over the past 10 minutes or so. Morales all the way back to Elias Vasquez.
It's very good patience here from Real Salt Lake, breaking that pressure. That high press from Sporting Kansas City can be so frustrating to have to reset.
And it's onside for RSL, and it's 1-0 to the visitors. Sebastian Jaime puts it away. Not exactly sure the judgment from Kevin Ellis there. He seemed to just let that run through.
Yeah, this is just a mistake from Kevin Ellis. Simple as that. I think he thinks Tim Melia is right behind him to pick up this through ball, and he just lets it go. But unless you hear a goalkeeper call for that ball, and judging by Tim Melia's reaction as we take another look, just another simple ball over the top, and we've seen this from Salt Lake time and time again in this first half. But yeah, Kevin Ellis just lets him go, no reason for it, and Tim Melia left in the dust. But look, Kevin Ellis has played very well this season. Just one bad mistake. Sporting will have to play from behind now.
And it was Olmes Garcia with the goal to put the visitors on top 1-0 here in the 25th minute. And if you thought RSL was persistent with the time wasting early on, just wait. Now they have a 1-0 lead against their arch rivals, and Sporting Kansas City will look to answer. Dwyer trying to cut it back. Can't get around it enough, and it's easily covered by Nick Raimondo. Olmes Garcia came into this match with 2 goals in MLS play on the season. Draws first blood for RSL. Really has to be said that the Claret and Cobalt have had the better of the match over the last 10 minutes or so.
Well, for sure possession. I think they've actually tried to go at this Sporting side and mixture of patience and then those balls over the top that we've seen, but the possession's been a lot better. They have the ability to break the press, and I think they showed it, you know, in the previous 10 minutes for sure. But, you know, Sporting early on looked to be the better side possession-wise, and I think RSL have really picked it up in that category.
Kevin Ellis. Peterson, now Feilhaber to Peterson. It's around one defender, and then crashes into DeMar Phillips, and is called for the foul.
And it's interesting to watch Kevin Ellis after that mistake. He was a little bit hesitant. He had Saad Abdul Salam. He could have easily threaded a ball through down the line and just opted for the easier ball to Jake Peterson. But I think watching Kevin Ellis over the next 10 minutes is going to be key if he can step up and really minimize the mistakes to just that one.
Ellis coming off of such a great match, playing a crucial role, and take a look at it and see Peterson coming right down on the foot of DeMar Phillips. Ellis playing such a crucial role in the silencing of Sebastian Jaime up in Toronto. So for Olmez Garcia, his first goal in U.S. Open Cup play. Sonny Mustavar knocked away by Mulholland. Namath. Mustavar. Taken away this time by Sebastian Jaime.
And I think the ball can go out the other side to Kevin Ellis on there. Even starting from the throw-in. With RSL overloading that side, the ball is on.
Last time these two teams faced off in a knockout competition was, of course, Frozen Field here in 2013, an MLS Cup, and RSL scored first in that match to take a 1-0 lead. It was Aurelian Cullen who leveled the match to send it to extra time, and then eventually in penalties, Sporting Kansas City won MLS Cup. Plenty of time for Sporting Kansas City to equalize here as it's Nagamura getting forward. It's possessed by Phillips, but out for a throw-in. And it's Jacob Peterson. And who got a touch to that last? It will be out for a Sporting Kansas City corner against the protests of Nick Raimondo.
One, it looked a bit questionable to me as well. I thought Jake just mistimed this. He wanted to let it go, kind of give it the fake early and then play a late ball in, and I think it got away from him, but it'd be interesting to see if that actually went off a Salt Lake player.
Feilhaber sends it in. Headed away. I believe that was Garcia that got ahead to it. It's back to Feilhaber. Working on Phillips. Now sending it in again. This time away by Beltran. And there's a collision and play on. Taking the advantage for RSL, says Villarreal. And it's Garcia. And he is nicked from behind by Paulo Nagamura, who is going to be shown a yellow card. It was his foul on Javier Morales at the other end, where advantage was played.
Yeah, and that's just unbelievable to me that this was even more dangerous than it was, as Sporting had two players back and just got split off the dribble. When you try and stop the play so far away from your goal and then that happens, it's unbelievable. Take another look, just splits, just poor communication, and Nagamura is forced to foul there, clear yellow.
Garcia and Morales are both still down. Morales face first, back on his half of the pitch. We mentioned the time wasting. It could very well be a serious injury to Morales. It was a heck of a collision between Morales and Nagamura, but it could also potentially be a case of wasting time. There's the collision. It was just a shoulder collision. I'll be very surprised if it's something serious to Morales here after that, seeing that replay.
But I mean, it's a clear yellow on.
Sure. Well, if not for that
on
one, for the other one.
On both plays. It's rare that you stop a play that high up the field and then you recover. You're the one that recovers, and to to get a yellow card to stop the play near your own goal.
Nick Raimondo right now is pleading his case with Armando Villarreal for an elbow. I didn't see an elbow raised from Nagamur there. It was a hard challenge on Morales with the shoulder.
I think Naga lined him up there just a little bit. He knew he had to stop the play, though. He did what most players would do and was probably happy to do so against a rival as well, but
Armando now apparently pleading his case with Matt Beasler. Morales appears to be okay for about a 2-minute delay here.
well, like you said, I don't think it was vicious. You just have to stop the play, and as was the case this entire first half, happy to take a little bit of time off the clock, especially with the 1-0 lead.
See some footage now of the time wasting from RSL, and that will do nothing but continue now, especially that RSL have the 1-0 lead.
This started from about 2 minutes in as well, so we should not be surprised and probably see a lot more going on in this game.
Now, another dangerous set piece that Sporting Kansas City will have to contend with. Mulholland, Beckerman, and others behind it. Blasted all the way into the south stands by DeMar Phillips.
I'm surprised they didn't opt to take that to the corner. Play it short and then dribble to the corner, try and kill some more clock off.
A bit like Sabario's penalty attempt in the cup.
Yeah, but I can't blame the guy. I mean, I've taken one penalty in my life. It did not end well, so I can't imagine the kind of pressure.
Beasler flicking it forward for Christian Nemeth. Under pressure from Mon, pushed in the back, and a foul is called. Not sure how hard of a shove it was from Aaron Mon, but it definitely had two hands in the back there.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I think it's a bit of some acting as well, but, you know, you feel the contact. It's enough. I think there's enough there. I'm not going to say he didn't go down just a tad easy, but...
And Sporting Kansas City pull one back here in the 35th minute. Feilhaber, and it's knocked in. It's Sony Mustavar, and Sporting Kansas City have drawn level against RSL. The first goal in his Sporting Kansas City career for Sony Mustavar, and my, was it a big one.
Well, you could feel this one coming there, Nate. We talked about it earlier on. He had a great chance just earlier in the game off a set piece, off a corner kick, I believe, and he makes no mistake. What I like about this is Benny Feilhaber puts it in a spot where Nick Raimondo, not a very big goalkeeper obviously, has to make a decision to come. And with all that traffic, there's nothing he can do. If he stays, this is a goal, and if he comes, this is a goal. It's such a good ball. All it takes is a well-timed run. He was waiting for that one.
Does Christian Tom Dwyer claiming that it had been touched by RSL, so he ran all the way around and threw the ball, but Villarreal will make them retake the kick here. RSL now intentionally rolling the ball away.
But this is what makes this so great. I mean, I'm thoroughly entertained, and hopefully everyone else is as well.
I hope we get another look at that goal, Andy, because does Christian Nemeth deserve a bit of an assist? Almost setting a screen against Nick Raimondo as he tried to come for that and couldn't get to the ball in front of Sony Mustavar.
Well, that's the thing, though. When you have a goalkeeper, you know that is vulnerable in the air, especially with traffic. That's what you do. You put traffic in his way, make him make a decision.
Matt Beasler knocking it away. It's out for an RSL throw.
And this is the decision he has. He doesn't get a good run into the ball. There's no power going into his attempted punch. And all it takes is just a simple flick. the other way, as Sonny Mustavar did.
Benny Feilhaber with the assist on that corner, his 17th assist in all competitions on the year. He is one shy of tying the franchise record in that regard. Preki owns that record with 18 assists in all competitions in a single season. Here comes a quick corner this time from RSL. A bit of a change of pace. And as it bounces around the area, headed away by Dwyer, then by Peterson, and now cleared by Christian Nemeth.
When I think Morales trying to catch Sporting Kansas City napping a bit there, maybe lulled to sleep as Benny Feilhaber was trying to direct traffic on the previous play. Didn't like what he saw defensively from Christian Nemeth.
Feilhaber. And he's looking for Jacob Peterson or Dwyer. And Raimondo has to come all the way out past the area, is able to just deflect it enough. That was a dangerous moment for RSL. Now it's Timilia coming out past the 18 to head it away. And headed all the way back in by Benny Feilhaber.
Well, right now, balls over the top causing both teams a lot of problems. We saw it on the RSL's first goal, and a near chance there for Sporting Kansas City as Nick Raimondo just able to, well, it wasn't even Nick Raimondo, but he's there nonetheless.
More history on the assist from Benny Feilhaber that drew this match level. His 5th U.S. Open Cup assist this season, most in a tournament by a Sporting Kansas City player or Kansas City Wizard. A foul on Saad Abdul Salam.
And Preki, unbelievable player, was able to watch him play a lot of years for the Wizards. And I think Benny's going to catch him.
Well, and he has already passed Preki in one aspect, and that is to score 9 goals and have 17 assists in a season.
Sure.
Preki did 9 goals and 16 assists twice, but for Benny Feilhaber, in some ways you could say this is the most prolific season in the history of the franchise when you combine goals and assists. Still a long way to go.
Long way to go, but with the amount of set-piece goals that Sporting have and just his vision this year, especially his touch, his final pass has been so good.
Now Nemeth taken down by Beltran. Nemeth wanted more than just a foul there, but he won't get it. Nagamura. The 40th minute. It's 1-1 after RSL took the lead in the 25th minute. Olmes Garcia, his first ever U.S. Open Cup goal. Second goal against Sporting Kansas City this season, though, in all competitions. And then it was Sonny Mustavar, his first ever goal for Sporting Kansas City in the 35th minute to make it 1-1. We expected this to be an intense match and an even match, and so far it has not disappointed. Morales. Back to Beckerman. Morales again. Morales looking for one of those through balls. This time Abdul Salam heads it away. Jacob Peterson was looking for the run of Dwyer. He couldn't get there, but it's out for a Sporting Kansas City throw. Now Dwyer chesting it down. Back to Peterson. Nagamura angry that he felt he had been knocked down on the run. But instead, still Sporting getting forward. It's Amadou Dia into the area. Dia has an effort, and it's parried away by Raimondo, but out for a corner.
Well, it'll be interesting to see where Benny Feilhaber puts this corner kick if it's right on top of Nick Raimondo, as I didn't think this warranted a necessary punch out for a corner. I think this is a ball that Nick Raimondo should have caught. But nonetheless, here comes a corner kick, another dangerous set piece for that man, Benny Feilhaber.
Can he tie the franchise record for assists and give Sporting the lead? Here comes the corner all over everybody and all the way out for an RSL goal kick.
And I just like to see him put that, get a lot of traffic in front of Nick Raimondo, put it right on top of him, make him make a decision.
file this under the category of a good craftsman never blames his tools, but these are different soccer balls and US Open Cup Nike balls than the Adidas balls that are used in MLS play. And Benny Feilhaber made a comment yesterday that these balls he feels are a little lighter, and so perhaps some of those set pieces might be difficult to get a feel for, but that certainly didn't seem to bother him on the goal on the corner kick earlier.
No, and actually, you know, these Nike balls, they do play a little bit differently, but you train with them all week leading up. It's not your first week of training with them. Anytime you're in a competition like CONCACAF or Open Cup, you get these out. He's had plenty of time on them. I'm sure he'll tell you he's not going to use that as an excuse either.
This time, Saad Abdul Salam is dispossessed, and it's Garcia getting forward, running against Kevin Ellis, and will a foul be given? No. And then Ellis and Garcia exchanging words. Ellis not happy with what he felt was the dive from Garcia there.
But Kevin Ellis needs to keep his head right here, because you can't even put it into the referee's mind that you reacted or pushed off or anything of that matter. Just running at isolated one-on-one.
Not much contact there at all.
Not much there at all. Kevin Ellis clearly unhappy for good reason.
As you said, always important to keep your composure, especially in emotionally charged matches like this one. In the 44th minute now, 1-1 the score. Feilhaber looking for an avenue, lays it back to Beasler. Now Abdul Salam. Peterson back to Feilhaber. Looking for the run of Dom Dwyer this time. Vasquez gets ahead to it, and it's to Beckerman. Now Morales. Mulholland to Beltran. Cuts it back nicely, and here's some space for Morales. This is dangerous for RSL. Morales knocked away, and expertly so by the rookie, Saad Abdul Salam, and that should spring Sporting Kansas City the other way. It's Dwyer looking up. Dwyer cutting toward the inside, getting it to his left foot. Taken down, but play on, says Villarreal. Namath looking to scoop. I think he was looking for the run of Nagamura, but Nagamura went left when Namath was hoping for him to go right.
Yeah, and if Sporting broke a little bit quicker, I was looking at Benny Feilhaber, and you can't blame him. He started so many matches for this team, and he was nowhere to be found in that counterattack. But here, I don't know, looks like a foul to me. But you're right, Namath looking for that run from Nagamura. Jake Peterson was on the outside waiting. Naga just didn't look up.
Another foul from Mulholland there, taking Benny Feilhaber down. As the first half winding down with a 1-1 score. Beasler. Away by Aaron Mond. Mustavar all the way back to Tim Melia. 3 minutes. After all that time wasting, 3 minutes here in the first half will be added. Beasler looking for Amadou Dia. Can he get on the end of it? No. 5 shots from Sporting Kansas City, 4 from RSL. 4 shots on goal from Sporting Kansas City, 2 from Real Salt Lake. 6 fouls against the home side, 4 fouls against the visitors. Nagamura to Peterson, now to Dwyer, back to Peterson. Can Christian Namath get here? He can. Into the box, Namath with a cross. Over to Nagamura. Didn't quite get it right. It's away by Mulholland. Mustavar, clever. Now Namath. Back to the goal scorer, Sony Mustavar. Here's Nagamura. Like he he had an angle for Saad Abdul Salam
Well,
down the right-hand
you
side.
know, it was Kevin Ellis before that that had the angle as well, and once again opts for the safe pass.
About halfway through stoppage time here in the first half. 1-1 the score. Feilhaber almost plays it nicely through to Diab, but Nick Raimondo is able to come out and gather maybe 2 or 3 yards to the left, and Diaz able to get there. It was well picked out by Feilhaber, just couldn't quite get the weight of the pass correctly. And here comes RSL the other way. Pings off of Kevin Ellis from Sebastian Jaime, and Ellis just tries to get it away. Jaime to Morales. Now Mulholland to Beckerman. Sandoval, Beckerman volleys it well wide of the target. Dying embers now of the first half. Sporting Kansas City and RSL level at a goal apiece in the semifinals of the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup. And there is the whistle for halftime. Olmes Garcia drawing first blood in the 25th minute to make it 1-0 RSL. Then the answer from Sony Mustavar in the 35th minute. And the score at halftime, a goal apiece.
I think it was a tale of a couple of momentum swings, really. You know, Sporting starting off the game really well in possession, then Salt Lake taking over, getting their goal, and then finally Sporting towards the end of the half really taking on the game.
It came from a set piece from Benny Feilhaber, his 17th assist in all competitions in 2015, and we are level. Nothing has been decided here in Kansas City, Kansas. The second half coming up in the semifinals of the 2015 Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup in just a moment. And we welcome you back to Sporting Park in Kansas City, Kansas. Just about set for the second half between Sporting Kansas City and Real Salt Lake. 1-1 the score as we begin the second half of the 2015 Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup semifinal. Nate Bukaty along with Andy Greenebaum, and we are underway in the second half. Salt Lake going from right to left. The first possession. We welcome all of you watching on our YouTube channel this evening across the world, and particularly the fans in Salt Lake City tuning in to check out this match to see if their side can make it to the finals of the U.S. Open Cup for the second time in 3 years. Foul against Jacob Peterson. The first whistle of the second half. And immediately some time wasting, Andy Green. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, absolutely. We've seen a lot of that so far in this game.
Morales. Mulholland. Kept in by Phillips, but taken away by Peterson. And it's Dom Dwyer. Looking for the run of Nagamura, who does get to it. Nagamura felt that he had been fouled by Elias Vasquez, but referee Armando Villarreal unsympathetic.
And I think Dom Dwyer could have maybe driven at the defender a little bit longer right before playing this ball. And Naga does have a chance. I think he just goes down rather easy there. It's a good no call.
Foul against Sandoval. If you're just joining us, Salt Lake with the first goal in the 25th minute, Omas Garcia opening his U.S. Open Cup account. And that was Sony Mustavar with his first ever goal in any competition for Sporting Kansas City in the 35th minute. And that's where we stand, 1-1. 1-1 was the final score after 90 minutes in the MLS Cup final. 2013. The conditions were very different. Coldest match, I believe, in MLS history. 20 degrees that day. A little warmer here today as it's Nagamura. Play on, says Villarreal. Taking the advantage for Sporting Kansas City. Now Failhaber looking for Namath. Now Dwyer right into the arms of Nick Raimondo. Dom Dwyer got his foot behind it.
Well, Benny Failhaber, just a cheeky little play with the outside of his right, and if this goes anywhere else, this is in the back of the net. Dom Dwyer just couldn't get enough on it, and right at Nick Raimondo.
Kevin Ellis muscles Morales off the ball. Now looking for the run of Christian Namath. It's Namath chesting it down and flicking it past Raimondo, and it's cleared off the line by Tony Beltran. A fantastic job by the right back for RSL to track all the way back just in time to keep this match level. And here comes RSL. Sandoval. Now on the right side, Sebastian Jaime crosses it in, headed away by Ellis. Sporting Kansas City have had two fantastic chances in the early going of the second half here. And it's Dom Dwyer this time. And taken down by Elias Vasquez.
Well, Nate, going back to that through ball here by Benny Failhaber and Namath. Nick Raimondo comes out, cuts the angle, forces Namath to just not get enough on it, and allows the defender Beltran to get back. It's good job by Nick Raimondo to come out, cut the angle, and a great recovery run.
Fantastic play from Tony Beltran to keep the match at 1-1. In In the 50th minute, though, it's Benny Feilhaber, who's already got 1 assist on the day, 5 in this U.S. Open Cup this season. But it's away by Beckerman. Beasler chipping for Namath. Namath cannot keep it in.
It was never going to work there. It's just a straight ball, flat run by Christian Namath and Matt Beasler, no angle.
Beckerman's touch lets him down. Dwyer touches it around Vasquez. He felt that he had been held up there, did Dom Dwyer. The referee did not see it that way. There's Garcia. Phillips. Sporting Kansas City has started the second half the right way. Chance for Dom Dwyer, a chance for Christian Namath, who beat Nick Raimondo on the flick, but it was Tony Beltran tracking all the way back to clear it off the line. So the match remains 1-1. And we saw Sporting Kansas City get off to the start in the first half, but then somewhere about 15 minutes in or so, Real Salt Lake got their footing. Here's Nagamura. Touch was a little too heavy there and knocked out by Elias Vasquez.
And we've seen so many times Sporting Kansas City respond to going down a goal. So we take a look, and Naga's touch just a little bit too heavy and ends up going off of him. A little bit out of control there from Nagamura.
Feilhaber to Namath. Still Christian Namath. Dwyer back out to Feilhaber. Feilhaber the outside of the foot. Into the arms of Nick Raimondo.
And how many times have we seen that outside of the foot from Benny Feilhaber? I think if you're Sporting Kansas City, and Dom Dwyer in particular, just take a chance, get across the goal, see if you can get in front of Nick Raimondo on that one.
Salt Lake now hitting forward. Sandoval standing up on Ellis with the shot, and it goes off the hands of Melia and out for a corner. Good strength from Devin Sandoval to earn the corner.
And that's what he does so well. He's a big body, he holds the ball up well with his back to goal, and he's able to turn Kevin Ellis and get a decent shot off here.
Javier Morales hearing it from the Cauldron faithful as he walks his way to the corner. Here's Morales with the outswinger. Bounces to Beasler. Lamar Phillips to send it back in. Nagamura clears it away. The side of the foot of Vasquez. Beasler wins the header. As far as Morales, though, looking to slide it through, and boy, he had a step there. And if Matt Beasler doesn't break that up, Olmes Garcia might have been through. Here's Morales again. Sony Mustavar dispossesses. Feilhaber. I think he was looking to get that to the run of Christian Namath.
Yeah, Benny knows he made a mistake there. Another one with the outside of his right foot. We talked about this field conditions, and if you're having trouble striking a ball with your normal technique, then outside of the right might not be the right technique for that particular one.
Abdul Salam just gets to that header. And Sandoval is called for the push in the back. Peter Vermees animated as always. Kevin Ellis working his way around Jaime. Now Jacob Peterson. Peterson with the left foot and a diving save, and it's held by Raimondo. Peterson is still down after the play. Now getting back at least to his knees. To be grabbing that left hip or hamstring.
But that's better from Kevin Ellis, actually driving past that first line of confrontation from RSL and making them make a decision to step or drop off.
Timing was wrong that time between Phillips and Garcia.
And as Jake cuts in, this is on his left foot. Obviously doesn't have enough power to beat Nick Raimondo from there.
Peterson. Vasquez. Stavar chesting it down. Peterson able to get a touch to it, but Beckerman wins the challenge against Feilhaber. And Morales turning. Mustavar tracking back. Now Mulholland. For Beltran. Edu Diaz able to get there. Pressure from Beltran. And he earns the throw. Beckerman. Garcia. Beasler breaks up the pass that was intended for Mulholland. Feilhaber, though, gives it away. He was looking for Dom Dwyer, who was all alone up top.
And once again, not able to connect that first pass after winning the ball back. That ball just has to be played on the ground into Dom Dwyer's feet.
Beasler banged into on the follow-through by Mulholland. That's about the third or fourth foul against Mulholland in the match. And Villarreal might have a talking to with Mulholland.
That's a little late. Little clumsy from Mulholland. We've seen that a couple times in this game.
Villarreal might have just told Mulholland that he's a foul or two away from a yellow for persistent infringement. This second half has kind of taken on the life of the first half, has it not, Andy? Where Sporting Kansas City had the better of the first 10 or 15 minutes, but then RSL turning the tables a little bit here.
Yeah, and part of that is Sporting Kansas City not able to keep and maintain possession, winning the ball back and then not connecting that first pass and not able to clear their lines.
Beckerman takes it away from Abdul Salam. Touches it around Ellis, but Ellis now wins it back. And here's Feilhaber. Dwyer to Nagamura. Looking for the overlap of Dia, instead cuts it back. And we do have a foul against RSL. And this will be a free kick for Sporting Kansas City from 20 to 25 yards out.
Definite foul. The question is, will it be Dom Dwyer or Benny Feilhaber over this free kick? As Naga cuts inside to have a shot. Definite foul.
Dom Dwyer, when he's had his 4-goal performance against FC Dallas, scored a free kick from about this distance, but it was on the other side of the D.
From this angle, it'll be Benny Feilhaber, full of confidence. Can he get up and down over this wall, though?
9 goals on the season for Feilhaber in MLS play. And a diving save by Raimondo. Feilhaber got it past the wall and made Raimondo do some work, but in the end it was fairly comfortable.
Now the save is good, but the hold is better. It's to the side. Nick Raimondo should be covering, trusting his wall, especially from that distance. So hard to get it up and down, but just to hold on to that ball is a good save by Nick Raimondo.
An hour gone here in the semifinals of the U.S. Open Cup. 1-1 our score. Another look at the save by Nick Raimondo. Now 60 minutes into this match, Andy, we've talked about the fact that players like Benny Feilhaber, Sonny Mustavar, Jacob Peterson played all 90 minutes on Saturday in Toronto, while several of the RSL starters, including some of their most important players, did not make their trip to Vancouver. Will legs come into play here? Here comes Sporting Kansas City. Feilhaber was looking for Dwyer, didn't get the pass quite right, and Phillips was able to intercept. Beasler comes flying in to knock the pass away, and then he puts Jaime under pressure. Here is Beasler. And he's under pressure from Jaime. And clean challenge from Jaime, out for a throw-in.
And Nate, to your point, I mean, both teams having to deal with some difficult circumstances. We take another look at what many of the fans wanted to see called as a foul. The travel schedule that Salt Lake's had to go through, though, I know as a player, especially dealing in all these competitions, it's never easy, so the decision to rest players is an obvious one. But for Sporting, we talked about 5 games in 15 days.
Dwyer not able to hold it up. And this will give Phillips a chance to bring it across the halfway line. The goal scorer, Garcia. Morales right into the chest of Kevin Ellis. Ellis breaking forward now. And he picks out Dom Dwyer. Ellis is continuing the run here. It's Kevin Ellis. Back to Dwyer. Dwyer! And it's knocked out by Raimondo for a Sporting Kansas City corner. Fantastic play from Ellis and Dwyer.
From your playmaker there, Kevin Ellis. And this ball's almost mishit. Not mishit, but just hit with his right foot a little bit off balance, and it almost catches Nick Raimondo to that near post, but he holds his ground safely, makes a save. Good link-up play by Kevin Ellis, just what you'd expect from the center back.
Before this corner can be taken, we're going to have a substitution for Sporting Kansas City, as the rookie Connor Hallisey will replace Jacob Peterson. Your thoughts on the substitution, Andy?
Oh, Jake Peterson coming off his performance in Toronto. Obviously, tired legs come into play here. Get a fresh body on someone, Connor Hallisey, a rookie who's had a lot of experience this season.
Here comes the corner from Feilhaber. Flicked on by Mustavar. It bounces dangerously in the box, but cleared away by Sandoval. Well, Sporting Kansas City have had 3 clear-cut chances in this second half. 2 from Dwyer, 1 from Namath. Namath actually beat Raimondo on his chance, but it was Beltran to save the day on that play for RSL. And then a couple of good reaction saves from Raimondo. One that Dwyer put right at Raimondo, but that last one from close range, he had to adjust quickly to knock it out.
Well, you definitely don't want to give one up on the near post, but I think Sporting have definitely been the better side in this second half thus far.
Certainly have had the better of the chances, but nothing to show for it. Sometimes that can be a little stressful. When you have had chances, you feel like you've been the better side, but still find yourself level on the score sheet.
All you can do is keep plugging away. I know with leadership on the field like Matt Beasler, he'll make sure that that side on that end is well taken care of. Sporting just need to make sure that they put one away, take care of their chances as well.
First touch for Hallisey. Feilhaber brings it out wide to Abdul Salam. Trying to work on Phillips. It's cleared out for a throw. So All three rookies for Sporting Kansas City are on the field now. Amadou Dia and Saad Abdul Salam both starting at the fullback positions. And now Connor Hallisey, the first substitution for Sporting Kansas City. Here's Dwyer, turning. Still Dwyer, sandwiched in between two defenders. Play will continue. It's Ellis, taken down from behind by Sandoval. And this will be a foul. Did Dom Dwyer have an appeal?
You know, it didn't look like it at first. I think that's just a good tackle, and then
absolutely well won tackle by Vasquez there.
But it's Mulholland coming in to finish the job right here. I don't think it's malicious. I don't think there's any intent there, but good turn by Dom Dwyer nonetheless.
No doubt that Vasquez won the ball in his challenge. And he had to get the timing right there. Beasler for Dwyer. And it bounces over to Namath, who skied the cross. Here's Feilhaber turning, flicking it through for Amadou Dia. Dia with the cross, and it's dealt with nicely by Aaron Mon. Away by Mulholland, but only as far as Feilhaber. Feilhaber!
Well, Benny Feilhaber, we talk about his tired legs, but he's really picking and choosing his moments here. Great ball through, and this ball's just not a runner in sight. Good cover there by Salt Lake. The ball can't, from that angle, can't cut it all the way back to where Namath was.
Mustavar back to Matt Beasler. Namath to Nagamura. Sporting Kansas City still looking for that goal. Here's a through ball intended for Hallisey. Sandoval chests it to Mulholland. Dia is told that he took the throw in a little too far down the pitch.
Well, maybe just 10 yards. But he does have a long throw, looking for Dom Dwyer on the break.
Beckerman. Got a man down. It's Beltran for RSL. They are the team in possession. There's a sliding tackle won by Hallisey, but Phillips knocks it off of Abdul Salam. It's a foot race between Abdul Salam and Garcia, and Salam is called for the foul.
Well, Garcia's got a lot of pace, and Salam with those long legs just can't catch up to it. I don't know how much contact, but both players going full stride. This will be dangerous for RSL. He does, he just shoves off, and when you're going that full speed, it's hard to check up and stay on your feet.
This is just about the spot from where Benny Feilhaber took the set piece that resulted in Sporting Kansas City's goal in the first half. And a man who is just about as dangerous as Feilhaber on set pieces to take it. And it'll be an in-swinger from Morales. Drives it in and drives it out.
Well, not how they drew it up, but you don't want to give Morales too many of those opportunities. He'll get one right on the next one, most likely. But those are so dangerous for a goalkeeper with all that traffic coming through. There's really nothing you can do if the ball's served in and the runs are there.
tension of knockout play builds as 20 minutes plus stoppage time remain in a 1-1 score. Sporting Kansas City feel that they've had the chances to take the lead here. They have not been able to beat Nick Rimando yet. Namath, and it's knocked away by Rimando. The deflection is won by Beltran, and just in time as Hallisey was steaming forward. And if Rimando does not get a glove to that, it would have been an easy finish for Dom Dwyer.
Well, Nick Rimando does well to read the situation. It's the only place the ball can go. I would argue he almost made it too casual. I thought he could have got a clear punch to it and not made it as dangerous, but nonetheless, it's good read, it's good positioning. His starting positioning was very good on that play.
Almost another giveaway from Abdul Salam, who's had a couple here over the last few minutes. 11 shots from Sporting Kansas City, 7 on goal, but only one has found the back of the net. Mustavar steps in front of Morales. Here's Hallisey with a cross to Dwyer. It's Dom Dwyer, now to Namath, and it deflects off the back of an RSL defender and out for a corner. And Namath to his knees with his head in hands. Sporting Kansas City wondering what it will take to find that second goal.
Well, what a cutback ball, and great hold-up play again here. Unselfish. You don't see this often from that spot from Dom Dwyer, laying it off. I'm not sure if that goes in anyway, just with the inside of his foot going to that far post, but what a chance for Sporting Kansas City.
Off the back of Vasquez, so out for a corner. The in-swinger from Feilhaber. Abdul Salam getting tangled up with Vasquez. And a foul on Abdul Salam, and they try to take the restart quickly, but Villarreal will make RSL march back 10 or 15 yards. And there's that.
And he's there, and that's my point. Is it's a little soft. It leaves it in a dangerous spot. I think he can get a fist to that and punch it clear. But nonetheless, he reads it's his starting position. He reads it well.
Here's Kevin Ellis. Headed by Phillips. Feilhaber though to Namath. Now Dwyer to Namath. Intercepted by Phillips. Out of play by Phillips. Sporting Kansas City trying to maintain this pressure. They've had their chances here in the second half. But still the score 1-1. As the 73rd minute comes to a close at Sporting Park. Feilhaber wins the header. Switching it to Amadou Dia. Now Kevin Ellis. Here's Namath. Abdul Salam looking for the cross. Back to Namath. And he didn't quite get all of his laces behind it. And that was an easy one for Rimando, but another shot on goal.
And what a difference just driving from Kevin Ellis makes. As we take a look at that, just didn't get enough on it. But when Kevin Ellis, we've seen him earlier on in the year, he'll stop and he'll play a long ball instead of driving at the defender. So much better from him. He has the cover on the other side.
Nick Rimando has certainly been a busy man here in the second half, and he has kept his team, Real Salt Lake, level at 1-1 so far. And if this is still level at the end of the full 90, we will have extra time. as we did in MLS Cup just a couple of years ago. Tony Mustavar had the giveaway, and he's going to draw yellow here as he had to do what he could.
No argument there. Just a bad giveaway, just took his eye off the ball, tried to pull it back, and yellow card later.
Second yellow for Sporting Kansas City. Nagamura's on a yellow, now Mustavar on a yellow. And Sporting Kansas City have had a couple of sloppy giveaways in their own half. Really the only times they have exposed themselves in the second half. But again, with a 1-1 score, that's what makes you uneasy. One mistake like that could be the difference in this competition.
Well, we've already seen a bad error by Kevin Ellis in the back there for Sporting that led to a goal. And the last thing you want to do is give this RSL team just one opportunity, one sniff at goal.
Mustavar wins it from Jaime and plays it forward to Dom Dwyer. And a handball against Beltran. A substitution for the visitors. This will be Luis Gil. Luis Gil replacing Devin Sandoval. Luis Gil, a player who was acquired in a trade from Sporting Kansas City back in 2010. Only 21 years old. Tony Beltran was given a yellow card. First yellow against RSL of the match. Here's Feilhaber. Now Namath. Turning around Phillips. Lofting it for the back post. Dwyer cannot quite get there. Does he keep it in? Yes, he does. Now Hallisey. Looking for Diop. Now with the cross, nobody really there for Sporting Kansas City. Headed away by Phillips, but only as far as Feilhaber. And it's deflected off of Nagamura.
Well, I thought this was a corner, but this is a bad clearance by Phillips that leads to this opportunity. And what a move here by Namath. Good ball movement leading up to that. And we've seen Namath put that in the back of the net in situations from weird angles like that. But Dom does a great job keeping it in, leading to a bad clearance and what I thought should have been a corner kick. We'll see it.
Dom Dwyer, the leading goal scorer in this 2015 U.S. Open Cup with 5, 4 of them coming in the match against FC Dallas. Can he find the game winner? Who will find the game winner here tonight? Beasler wins the foot race against Garcia, but it's out for an RSL throw in the 79th minute. Phillips to take it. Ellis runs through one tackle and then another. Now Amadou Diop. Beckerman. Pressure to Mustavar, and it's out for a throw. Beasler to Abdul Salam. Now Namath to the run of Nagamura. Cutting it back on Phillips. Back to Abdul Salam. Mustavar. Looking for the switch to Hallisey. He brings it down. Running at Gill. Cut out by Beltran.
It's a great angle by Beltran on that recovery.
Put Mulholland in a bad position. Mulholland gets fouled by Feilhaber, quickly retaken by RSL. Morales with some space. To Gill. Phillips. Looking for the cross. Dia into the back of Jaime to help knock it away. Dwyer trying to stand up Vasquez. And it is Dwyer. Around Vasquez, still Dwyer. Still Dom Dwyer. It is Dwyer. Banks off the post. Feilhaber! A superhuman effort from Dom Dwyer and a finish from Benny Feilhaber. And Sporting Kansas City have taken the lead 2-1.
And it's well deserved here from Sporting, clearly having the better of the game in the second half. And this was only a matter of time. And Dom Dwyer says, I don't want a yellow card for obstruction. I don't want the game to stop. I'm going to take this to goal. Puts it off the post. What a finish. Easy finish from Benny Feilhaber after the ball gets off the post. Great build-up. Great individual effort by Dom Dwyer.
Individual effort is right from Dom Dwyer.
And it starts here simply one-on-one. Beats his man to the ball and then gets around him. What an angle there by Dom Dwyer. Never gives up, cuts inside. And as a defender, you know Dom Dwyer's left-footed. You know he wants to go on his left foot. It's too easy there from Salt Lake.
And credit to Benny Feilhaber for following the play. Takes the perfect deflection off the post. And Benny Feilhaber.
And Benny, there's not one team in this league that didn't feel better than scoring on Real Salt Lake.
10 goals, 17 assists. The first Sporting Kansas City player to ever do that in a season in all competitions, and we are only in the middle of August. He now has a goal and an assist on the match. And Sporting Kansas City are 8.5 minutes plus stoppage time away from a date with the U.S. Open Cup Finals. Now Real Salt Lake looking to pull one back, but an interception from Kevin Ellis. And this crowd at Sporting Park have come alive.
And possession's going to be all the more important if Sporting are going to close this one out and possibly look for a third. Not the best layup there from Dom Dwyer to start that point.
Perfectly put that in between Namath and Dia, so neither one could get to it. Here's Namath. Can Sporting Kansas City possibly find another one? Now Dwyer. Got a cut under his spikes a little bit there, but still Dwyer. Now finally one.
I don't mind it, but Dom needs to realize he's 1v possibly 3 there. Maybe cut the ball back, come back out and see if you can build again.
There's Gill. Morales, he's always dangerous. 9 shots on goal for Sporting Kansas City. And remember that one off the post by Dwyer that set up the goal is not one of those. Offside against Phillips. Remember, Sporting Kansas City have another enormous regular season match coming up over the weekend against the Western Conference leaders, Vancouver. Let's take another look at the goal. Dwyer got it past Raimondo, and then the rebound from Benny Feilhaber. Will that stand as the game winner?
Yeah, and you just said it. It doesn't get any easier for Sporting Kansas City going up against a Vancouver side that dismantled RSL in the previous matchup.
A foul against RSL, and now we might see some time wasting on the other side.
Well,
Andy Greenabaum.
I would say this is the time to do it. You've got a 1-goal lead in the 84th minute, 85th minute, not the first half.
Feilhaber will be in no hurry to take this as we are into the 85th minute. Sporting Kansas City certainly wouldn't mind another. Feilhaber sends it in, headed away by Beckerman. And Gill flicking it. Kevin Ellis has to get on his horse, and he does so to beat Jaime to it. Ellis keeps it in. An effort from Kevin Ellis, and now Feilhaber. Garcia got it all wrong. It's Dwyer. Can Dwyer finish it? Make that Namath! Christian Namath! And Sporting Kansas City now surely on to the finals.
Well, now a mistake at the back for both sides, costing each team 1 goal. This time, RSL going down by 2 goals. This looks to be it for Sporting Kansas City. Should be able to move on to the final from here. Just poaching is Christian Namath. And good calm composure to round Nick Raimondo, who stays very patient here. Very difficult situation for Nick Raimondo to be in.
It was Aaron Mond who absolutely misplayed the header, and then Christian Namath calmly getting around Raimondo and slotting it in for Christian Namath in his first season with Sporting Kansas City. Now 4 goals in the U.S. Open Cup. That puts him in a 3-way tie for 5th place all time in franchise history. And overall, that gives him 12 goals on the season in all competitions.
And you want to talk about a guy that's been on all night tonight, causing fits for this RSL back line, is Christian Namath.
Long range effort from Vasquez. And we're going to have a substitution for Sporting Kansas City. Chance Myers will replace the 3rd goal scorer, Christian Namath. How good has he been, both in MLS play and in the Open Cup this year?
We talk about how calm he is, and he always takes advantage of his opportunities, especially something that clear-cut. Great effort by Christian Namath, well-deserved 3-minute rest anyway.
And by the way, Benny Feilhaber, now with 2 assists in this match, has tied the club record with 18 assists on the season. Ties him with Preki.
Can you give Benny an assist on that play?
Apparently they did. I think the assist should go to Aaron Mond, personally.
Now look, I mean, I feel bad for Aaron Mond. Everyone's going to make mistakes. You just hope they don't lead to goals like that.
It happens. For Benny Feilhaber, it's only a matter of time now before he claims the record for himself. As his career year continues. Now, substitution for the dejected RSL side now is Abdoulaye Mansali will come in for Luke Mulholland. And it looks like we're going to see Mikey Lopez make the 3rd and final substitution for Sporting Kansas City at some point, but barring a miracle, it's going to be a date with Philadelphia in the finals of the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup for Sporting Kansas City, which should be a fantastic atmosphere on September 30th in Philadelphia.
Yeah, it's just a shame it can't be here at Sporting Park, where Sporting have won an Open Cup, an MLS Cup here on this same field.
'89th minute now. Here's Chance Myers. Couldn't quite get the timing right to Hallisey. Philly making their 2nd consecutive trip to the final. They lost 3-1 to Seattle last year in Philadelphia. 2 goals from Seattle in extra time in that competition last year. Amelia punches away. Nagamura tracking back. Cleared out by Amadou Dia. Now Morales scooping it in, headed back to Beckerman. There's a cross and a shot deflected by Dia. And importantly so.
Very important, but I think it's the most important thing is keeping this at 3-1 if you're Sporting, just making sure that you see out this game. And to do that, it's gonna require a little bit of possession here in the closing minutes.
believe that Abdul Salam got ahead to that. He did. So this will be a corner for RSL. This will be DeMar Phillips. As we approach 90 minutes. Bangs in the area. Tim Melia gathers. Kevin Ellis getting into it a bit. And some pushing and shoving as tempers flare. If you're Kevin Ellis, you've got to be smart here.
You do. Everyone needs to be smart here. I mean, look, players going up for the ball with the goalkeeper, I don't think there's any malicious intent. I'd have to take another look at it, but Tim Melia very strong in getting to this ball, and Sporting Kansas City, I like them coming to the aid of their goalkeeper in this situation. But I certainly don't think there was...
But you're the team that's going on to the next round. No need to do anything that will get you in trouble here, as there will be 3 minutes of stoppage time.
Tim Melia gets a little bit late. I think he almost trips into him. He's just trying to get there, but...
It was Abdulli Mansali that got tangled up with Melia there. Final substitution for Sporting Kansas City. Mikey Lopez will check in for Paulo Nagamura, who I think put in a heck of a shift here tonight.
Definitely, Paul Nagamura coming off that ankle, and there's a little bit of confusion as to whether or not the sub's going to be made as Mikey Lopez is backing up. They want De Jong on the field.
Peter Vermees bringing on De Jong, who still had his warm-up shirt on.
And I think it comes down to Abdul Salam maybe cramping here in the late stages.
Sporting Kansas City 3, Real Salt Lake 1. Goals from Sony Mustavar, Benny Feilhaber, and Christian Namath. So now Marcel De Jong in for Saad Abdul Salam as we are in stoppage time. Clears it away, headed back in by Feilhaber. Benny Feilhaber taken down.
I think we'll see a straight red here. Note, this is just absurd.
Olmes Garcia.
There's no reason for this. Just classless from Olmes Garcia. He takes a swipe at his foot first and then goes and takes him out.
And this is the second time, to be clear, that RSL have taken a shot at Benny Feilhaber, who had some comments for RSL earlier in the season. Morales with a very cynical play in Salt Lake City earlier this year that many felt could have resulted in a straight red, and now Olmes Garcia, clearly frustration. And just runs right into the back of Benny Feilhaber for absolutely no reason.
It's senseless, but is Benny Feilhaber going to be okay? Sure. I mean, was it the hardest check? No, but it was the intent, and it was the play before that where he took a swipe at his foot, which I don't think we were able to see there, but I clearly saw it live, and just no reason for it.
All it will do is prevent Olmes Garcia from hearing the final whistle, which is seconds away. In fact, only a second away. There it is. Sporting Kansas City have a date in the U.S. Open Cup final in 2015, one step away from reclaiming the cup. Sporting Kansas City 3, Real Salt Lake 1.
Definitely well-deserved here from Sporting Kansas City. Great response again after going down a goal. We've seen that time after time this season. Just a great, relentless effort there, especially in the second half. Sporting really poured it on.
And frustration for Real Salt Lake, who put a lot of eggs in this basket. Yeah. Saving several players for this match, many of them talking about this being by far their biggest match of the season, and they will come home disappointed.
Yeah, and for all the success that Salt Lake have had against Sporting in the regular season, this was a big one as you take a look at just how happy this one meant, how much this meant for some of these Sporting players, but this was a huge one. It doesn't get easier for either team, and Salt Lake really chasing that playoff spot now, and Sporting in really good form.
Sporting Kansas City now have an opportunity to play in the finals against Philadelphia. September 30th, time is to be announced. Peter Vermes, with this win here tonight, takes sole possession all time in franchise history as a head coach. 109 victories in all competitions. That pushes him past Bob Gansler as Peter Vermes continues to rewrite the record books here in Kansas City.
And the way he does business with this club and his managing style really instills confidence in these guys. It's no wonder there's been a lot of success this year. And I know breaking a club record is huge for him, but against Salt Lake, I can tell you that adds a little bit more to it.
A heated rivalry. Christian Namath, one of the goal scorers for Sporting Kansas City. He's got 4 in this 2015 U.S. Open Cup campaign. He's got 12 overall. Peter Vermes, the winningest coach in franchise history, and he is 1 victory away from another trophy. Dom Dwyer
Shirtless.
does not.
Shirtless Dom Dwyer. Would you expect anything
maybe the
else?
least surprising outcome of the night. Dom Dwyer with his shirt off, but he does not go down as a man who scored a goal here today, but his effort in leading up to the goal that turned out to be the game winner from Benny Feilhaber might have been the most important play of the game.
Might as well call it an assist. It started near half field, just didn't give up on the play, cut inside, put it off the post, and Benny Feilhaber, we talk about his tired legs, but what a job to follow that shot up.
Feilhaber with an assist on the first goal that equalized the match at 1-1, and then Feilhaber with a game winner. As Benny Feilhaber now in the midst of one of the most prolific seasons in Sporting Kansas City franchise history, maybe the most, the first player ever to reach 10 goals and 17 assists, make it 18 assists now as he had 2 in this match. In all competitions, he has tied the franchise record for assists in a season in all competitions. Still with a lot of time to go. Sporting Kansas City players saluting the fans who made the trip here today to watch their team for the last time in this U.S. Open Cup in person, because the final will be on the road. That's going to do it from Sporting Park here in the semifinals of the 2015 Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup. For Andy Greenebaum, this is Nate Bucati. Sporting Kansas City win it by a final score of 3-1 over their arch rivals Real Salt Lake. They head on to the finals. They will take on the Philadelphia Union in Philadelphia on September 30th. Thanks for watching. So long.